everyone, good morning. Welcome in this little corner of the internet called A Knitter's Suitcase podcast. My name is Daniela, I'm in Perth, Western Australia, and I am in my sunroom in my house, just ready to talk to you about a lot of interesting things, finished objects, projects, shop update, and we've got prizes for our Veralove cowl, the knit along that just ended on the 9th of June to announce. So, well, it's just a case of, getting started. If you want to get in touch with me, you will find all my details below. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Ravelry, I've got an email address for this podcast, and the link to my little project bags shop will be down below as well. Bright and sunny day here in Perth, as you can see the sun in my back garden. And thank goodness for that. We had quite a lot of rain, which it was absolutely, needed, but nothing could dry up, and we were coming back with a wet dog after every walk. So yeah, I enjoy a bit of sunshine and I feel so energized and happy today. I just wanted to sort of share a little bit of my good energy and my excitement for all the yarny things with you on the other side of the screen, if I can. So let's try and get going quickly. So following my normal sort of structure, I'll start with finished objects, and first up is the finished object I'm wearing, which is my Cocoon Chokki vest by Noiko Ichikawa. Sorry for the mispronunciation. I'm reading from my knitting journal. So if you're a regular here, I keep a knitting journal, which gives me so much joy to fill in and decorate. Some pages are prettier, some are not so pretty. These are quite pretty. If you ask me, I really embraced the color scheme and the decorations, and I love it. So the Cocoon Chokki vest is knitted up. I'll take my cowl off so you can see some details better, and I'll try and record a little B-roll with it. So it's a boxy fit vest with big armholes and a sort of crew neck. It's actually a little bit higher in the original version, but that's my interpretation. It's quite, let's say, quite cropped, and it's just the perfect garment for me. So this one I knitted in quite a short period of time, so basically 15 days more or less. It's a quick knit. I knitted it in 3.75 millimeter needles on 3.75 because I'm a loose knitter. The pattern calls for 4.5, I think, millimeter needles, and the gauge is would be 18 stitches. Mine was actually 20. So my solution was just going up a size, and so I did size 3, and it worked really well for me. The widest point at the underarms, let's say, is 100 centimeters. That gives me how much? 6 centimeter positive ease. Anyway, it's really beautiful. It's 55 centimeters long, and I have used a total of 280 grams of yarn. Real star in this project, I would say, though, is the yarn, which is Alpaca Allure. You've got the ball band here. Alpaca Allure by Fiber Naturally. A beautiful, beautiful yarn that I purchased at Bendigo Sheep and Wool Show last year, enabled by my good friend Gayan, that I'll talk about of later. And it is an Australian alpaca and recycled sari silk mix. 8 ply, about 205 meters for 100 grams. So as you can see, the alpaca gives it this beautiful, fuzzy, very soft fiber. And then the recycled bits of sari silk gives it all these shades of various colors that really are so many different colors. There's blues, there's purples, there's reds and yellows, and it is soft and it's joyful, and it's really the perfect vest for sort of transitional weather. At the moment, gives you that extra layer of coziness and all the joy of the colors. I love how the neck came out. I shortened the length of the ribbing a little bit. As I said, it was supposed to be a bit of a mock neck. Mine is definitely a crew neck. And the neck ribbing is added at the end. So you cast on, let me remember, because it's been a little bit of time since I finished this. You cast on at the back, with the back. You do some short rows to create the sort of drop shoulder construction. Then you pick up stitches on the one shoulder. There you go. That's my pickup. It's quite seamless, that I'm quite happy with. It looked a bit tight in the beginning, but after blocking it relaxed quite a bit. And then you build this bit of fabric again with short rows, and you do the same on the other side. And then you cast on in the middle and work downwards. Of course, it's flat knitting for the front and the back until you get to join in the round. And the ribbing around the armholes is basically a faux ribbing. It's knitted while you knit the body, and the sort of ribbing effect is obtained with like little stripes of stockinette and reverse stockinette, and it's got a pretty I-cord to finish it off. There is a very nice detail at the underarms that I'll add a photograph of here, where the two sort of sides of the armhole ribbing are joined with some short rows and create a little nice seam at the bottom. Then you carry on working in the round, and you have your ribbing at the bottom. Really clever construction, very easy pattern to follow, very detailed, perfect fit. The only other thing I did was, because I was a tiny bit worried about the fact that the alpaca yarn may be very drapey and very soft, and maybe, have the neck stretch too much. So what I did was picking up the stitches around the neckline, adding a strand of like oatmeal colored mohair at the alpaca to keep it a little bit more sort of stable there. And you can't really see what I added. And I think time will tell, but I think it will help keep the shape. So 5 stars out of 5 for this project, and 5 stars out of 5 for this yarn. Actually, I mentioned it in my previous episode. If you want to hear more about the producers of this yarn, they are small producers, fantastic job made with a lot of love and commitment and effort, very personal sort of company. If you want to know more about that, there's an episode by my friend Gayane at Pearl for Pairings where she interviews them, and she shows every single, she tells you all the secrets of their yarn production. So please go and have a look. Brilliant. Second finished project is a joyous one. All my projects are joyous. If they are not, I just stop knitting and rip them off. So it's my big Cecil shawl. There we go. Let me wrap it around myself, because honestly it isn't very warm in my sunroom this morning, and it's just amazing. Look at that. I'm so happy with it. So I can tell you quite a story about this one. It is a pattern by Twin Satin Pearls, well, to be more precise, by Joanna Harriott, who is one of the sisters, they are twins, who podcast with under the name of Twin Satin Pearl. They are in the UK, and they are quite prolific designers, particularly of shawls and socks. And all their projects, I must say, are really, really lovely. At the moment, there are 2 knit-alongs going on for their projects. One is by Ruth, of the podcast Ruth Loves to Knit, again in the UK. If you're not familiar, go and see her. So that's called the #TNP Year 24, and I entered my shawl there. And another one is by Twin Satin Pearl themselves, and it's the Knit the Family Cowl, because the name of these shawls, Cecil, comes after one of their family members, and they have quite a few shawls and socks that are named after their family members. So I entered it in these 2 knit-alongs, but the idea for it and the inspiration for it came actually last year when the pattern was released, and when I went to Bendigo, to the Sheep and Wool show, again with my friend Gayane, who seems to be here in spirit all the time I podcast. And so we decided to do a mini knit-along about it. She finished hers very quickly. She was very consistent knitting on it. You know me, I am not consistent when it comes to knitting. I just follow my creative flow, and so it took a little bit more time for me, but who cares? We can still twin, and I couldn't love this one more. So it is quite a big shawl. The total weight is 296 grams, so nearly 300 grams. And it's knitted in a very sort of pleasant style fashion, which means it starts from one of the tips and you increase until you reach the widest point, and then from there, after a little bit of straight knitting, you start decreasing again until you get to the other tip. So it's longer rather than wider. Well, all shawls are, but in this case, it's, let's say, quite a long shawl, and still the widest point is quite wide and really gives you a very nice woolly hug. The total length is 2.20 meters, and the widest point is 44 centimeters in my version. I knitted it in a mystery yarn. You know me, I sometimes pull out these mystery yarns, and it's this marled grey. Well, it was sold to me as wool and cashmere blend, and I can tell you, the sheepy smell of this one is beyond this world. My dog loves it. I need to take it away from her, you know, all the time. And I remember when I was blocking it, I left it here in the sunroom in the evening, and then in the morning my son opened the door and he shouted, "My goodness, who's been in here?" He was, you know, appalled. It was really funny, but I love it. And it's really, really sheepy smelling. It's beautiful. I can't be precise and sure about the yarn composition because I bought it in basically as mill ends on a cone in a warehouse in Italy that I visit when I go on holiday, and there are no yarn bands on most of the yarn they sell. But I think by now I can sort of recognize a good yarn, and this really is. It's so soft and squishy, and it's after washing has blocked really beautifully. And then of course it's garter stitch, as you can see, and there's a slip stitch slip stitch or high cord, how do we want to call it, edge, which gives it a very polished finish. And then the beauty of this shawl and the fun of this shawl is given by the fact that you hold different colored mohair strands alongside the main yarn to create these patches of color that I have decided to make using these three colors. The very bright, nearly neony yellow is Filcolana Tilia in the colorway 255. The teal color is again Filcolana Tilia in the color 289, and the black one is Lana Gatto. Color black. Again, altogether it took, I think for the main yarn I used about 200 grams, and the other three mohair yarns are 25, 29, 36 grams, so really, there isn't much mohair involved in this. If you are okay wearing mohair around your neck, because not everybody is, I mean, this is fabulous. It's just as I said initially, the wooliest and warmest hug, and I can't wait to have, warmer, cooler weather to wear it. And well, I have to tell you now that I'm getting very excited because I will be going to Bendigo again this year, and I will be seeing quite a few friends and sharing an accommodation with a few friends there. And this is definitely coming with me, and I'm sure it will be the best shawl to keep me warm during my days there. And I know it sounds like, that's what we always say, but I can't tell you how excited I am about going. And well, now I'm saying something but don't quote me on this. I really want to try and do a proper shopping list for my Bendigo sort of shopping and stick to that. Will I manage? I don't know, but anyway, we are not judging here, are we? So I'm so happy. Gaian's version is really beautiful as well. She's gone with like a purplish, pinkish color, contrasting color, and beautiful color yarns by Owl of Athena, I think, are her mohairs, and we'll be twinning. How fun! And do you want to see my page on my diary? There we are. That's my page on my diary, and I didn't actually respect fully the yarn placement that I had sketched here, but never mind, it's all a process, isn't it? Okay, before going on with my works in progress, I thought I would announce the winners for the knit along. So if you're new here, we have hosted myself on Instagram and Vera Marku on her Ravelry group, a knit along for 3 months from the 9th of March to the 9th of June for any projects knitted from a pattern by Vera, who's Vera Loves Knitting on Instagram and on Ravelry, who is a wonderful designer and a lovely person from Sydney. She's not originally Australian, but she's Australian now and lives in Sydney. Very talented designer. She absolutely creates the most textural projects. She's got lots of accessories. She's got gorgeous garments in her collection on Ravelry. So please, if you don't know her, go and check her collection. And I completed 2 projects during the knit along that you can see here. One is this lovely cowl I'm wearing, the accordion cowl, which I absolutely adore. Last night, basically, I was eating my dinner and I suddenly realized that I was still wearing it since the morning because it feels so comfy and it's such a lovely hug around your neck. Well, in this case, it's also the yarn, of course, that, helps out. This is a mix of merino, silk and yak, I believe, in the beautiful wild rose colorway dyed by Michelle at DanyUK Yarns. And it's so soft, so lightweight, it's glorious. It's a 1 skein project, so if you're looking for a quick sort of gift knit or for the perfect everyday accessory, have a look at this one. It's called accordion cowl. And then I knitted the Excelso shawl, an all over lace shawl that you can see here. This is knitted in the colorway Plum by Cable Tie Knits, Amy, another Perth dyer here in Perth. And I have been so blessed to see a lot of projects popping up. We had a little group working on the knit along here in Perth, and it was great to meet up in person with them. And then there's a little group of lovely knitters all over the internet, all over the world. I want to say we had somebody from Austria, somebody from Germany, quite a few from Australia, somebody from Tasmania. It's been a great little group of people. So what we have done here in Perth, the knit along has been run with the help and support of my lovely friend Susie, who is 8001 Stitches on Instagram, and I invite you to keep an eye on her account because she is starting very soon her own hand-dyed sort of little business. So it will be absolutely great to be inspired and to see what she can, all the joy she can give us knitters. And this past Saturday, which was Worldwide Knitting Public Day, one of my favorite events in the year, we managed to spend it at a great event that was organized by the Hand Weavers, Spinners and Hand Dyers Guild of Western Australia here in Perth. They set up a great little market with quite a few dyers there, and I did a little bit of shopping. I'll show you later. But most of all, we had quite a few of the people in our knit along group here in Perth coming along, and we drew the first 4 prizes. that went to all the Perth knitters who really, you know, supported the event. Well, randomly drawn, of course, and they were quite happy, I must say, with all their yarny goodness. Each of them got a bag sewn by me, and then we had 4 beautiful skeins of yarn, one each. One was dyed by Susie, that I mentioned before. This one, I'm showing you the photos of my friends who won the prizes. Then we had a gifted skein by Michelle at DanyUK, one gifted by Great Southern Yarns through you know, Vera, who provided that, and provided also 1 pattern per each prize package. And then we had a beautiful prize package with 200 grams of alpaca yarn by Adagio Mills, and that went to Michaela. So great, it was a great day. Today I'm going to announce another 4 prizes, which are those sort of meant to reach the wider community of knitters participating in the Knit Along. And well, without further ado, I want to announce this cutie, this bag knitted by, sewn by me, and this beautiful skein of yarn by Great Southern Yarn. Well, this one was actually, the yarn itself is gifted by Great Southern Yarn, but the colorway has been dyed by my friend Susie, that I mentioned before. Very beautiful, sort of, I think it looks a bit gray in camera, but it's more a light aqua tealy grayish color. Very beautiful, together with some bits and bobs added to the package. We'll go to Sally, who is Kurajong Home on Instagram, and I'll show here the beautiful jumper she knitted from Vera's collection. It's the ceiling sweater, and look at the cabling on that jumper. It really is an endeavor, and it's been a random draw, but I'm glad she's won a prize for that. Second prize is this cutie camping themed bag, and it comes with this gorgeous skein by WA Styles, that's Sandra, another dyer from Western Australia, and some more bits and bobs in the bag. And this goes to Kathy, who is Garden Queen on Instagram, for her cockle fichu shawlette, which is an absolute joy, an absolute dream, really beautiful little piece. And so congratulations, Kathy. There we go. Third prize, not in a specific order, it's just the third I'm announcing now, goes to Jen, who is Wool Chic on Ravelry, and she knitted a beautiful river shawl scarf, photograph here, and she's receiving this cute sock bag sewn by me with this tea themed fabric that I absolutely adore, and the beautiful skein that Karen of the Knitting Man Recommends brand has sent us for that. She has knitted herself a beautiful cockle fichu shawlette, and in this base, which is called Flimsy Knickers. It makes me laugh so much. It's a non-superwash single 4-ply 50-50 silk and merino. Look at the sheen of this yarn. It's absolutely gorgeous. And the colorway is called When Primroses Go Wild. You can always trust Karen for a fancy name for her yarn, and I actually can't wait to see her at Bendigo and grab some of her yarn. That's a beautiful package going to Jen. And then we've got another beautiful prize package. So this fun, flowery little sock project bag. And it comes together with this amazing little collection of mini skeins. Look at all these beautiful colors that has been gifted to the knit along by Amy. Cable Tie Knits here in Perth, and it's her Alpha Base 4-ply 5 per 20 grams mini skein. There we go. And this goes to Sabine in Germany. Well, I hope I've pronounced your name correctly, Sabine. And she has knitted a very pretty accordion cowl, just this project here. I'm so happy to be sending all these prizes out to you all. So if you are among the winners, please drop me a message. You can reach me on Instagram or even on the Ravelry group that Vera set up, or you can send me an email at the address aknittersuitcase@gmail.com and let me know your address, and I'll be very glad to send these cute packages over to you. Thanks so much for joining the knit along. Thanks so much to all the amazing yarn dyers and producers who gifted yarn for it. Thanks so much to Vera for being keen on these, and for finding time for our little interview that I posted on this channel at the beginning of the cowl, and for managing the Ravelry group. And I'm just closing it up with and to my friend Susie, of course, who's been so helpful and so inspiring and supporting. And I just want to close this knit along with with a very grateful heart for all the new friends we've made through it, and the just great opportunity it has been to enlarge our own knitting community, and just sharing the love. Works in progress. Goodness me. Well, the main work in progress I've been working on is in this bag that I made some time ago. And it's been literally my obsession in the last few weeks. I should have put it on a cord, but I haven't, so you'll have to bear with me because you probably can't see it too well like this. It is a jumper. Well, actually the pattern I'm following is for the T version. So this pattern came out as a T first, if I'm not wrong, and then as a jumper. I may be wrong, and it being the other way around. Anyway, I'm following the T pattern, and it is the Alpine Bloom T by Caitlin Hunter, who is Boylandknitwors. I'll write it down here. Here is a photo of the pattern. It's very popular. I'm sure you've seen it all over the internet, and it has had many interpretations. And this is mine. It's super bright, of course. It can't be different, being it my version. And as I never like to do things easily, I have decided to sort of creating a bit of a gradient in the color work. There we go. Just by mixing and marling a strand of fingering and a strand of mohair in various tones of gold, yellow, pistachio green, until we get to the very bottom with some deep forest green. What shall I say? First of all, I can't stop knitting on it because, of course, the color work is really addictive, and I want to do one more row, to see it finished. So I've had a few late nights because of this. I am not sure I'm doing the sort of creating the gradient in the best possible way I could, but you know, it's still a part of my knitting journey, and I'm not going to rip it back and change the spots where I could do better or could do differently. And you know, also I find that sometimes when I really doubt myself about something, and particularly with color work, if I am patient and I try and trust the experience, when the garment is finished and I block and I wear it, I find after all it wasn't that bad as I thought it was being. And I had that experience with my Santa sweater last year, and I trust it'll be the same with this one. Also, you know, the tension on my color work is not perfect. It's much looser up here, and then it's got better at this stage here, and maybe it's gone a little bit puckered again down here, but it needs blocking, and I'm sure I will enjoy it when it's finished. What can I tell you in terms of yarns? Again, the pink, you'll have to forgive me. It's another mystery yarn that I got in Italy, and it's a wool Angora mix. So it's the softest thing in the whole world. I don't know if you can see the halo around it. It's the softest, most delicious and squishiest fabric. There are 4 or 5 different yarn combinations in the yoke, but I'm not going into that now. I'll rather talk about that when it's finished. And I will just point out, let me find the page for it. That's my little page for it. Just started. It was my birthday cast on. That's why I am having a special stitch marker on it. There you go. So that was my birthday cast on. This is actually not even a stitch marker. It was a little charm attached to a birthday card that I got last year or 2 years ago from a very dear friend of mine in the UK. And she couldn't understand why I was sort of screaming when I saw that the card had this little charm. She's not a knitter, but of course I explained that would stay with me forever and ever, as it could be used as a stitch marker. So very pleased with that. Very quickly, I'll show you another projects that I'm working on. Of course, I've got like about 1,000 works in progress on the needles, but I'm just at the moment working on these 2 really, the jumper and this one, which is my Traveler's Cowl by Andrea Mowry. It's kept in this denim project bag that I've knitted for myself. I really love the iron-on little patch. I may make a few of these for the shop now that I've started sewing again, and it's got like a little gingham filling inside and a drawstring with not filling, lining, so inside, and the drawstring there. So this is my portable project at the moment that I am knitting with this beautiful yarn. Look at this big ball. It was probably twice as big when I started, because I'm about midway through this project that was gifted to me by my dear friend Lynn, and it's Rosario for Invicta. That's the page for it. I showed it last time. It is 150 grams, a 150 grams ball, and that's 520 meters. So I thought I really wanted a project that would use up the yarn, and this is going to be my everyday cowl basically, because as you see, as I told you about yesterday with this one, I really love to have something around my neck when I'm even in the house, because our house is not very warm in winter, and this one is going to be one that I'll wear constantly. It's a 51% virgin wool, 49% acrylic yarn. So to be honest, you know, it makes me feel a bit more comfortable about wearing it maybe while cooking. Beautiful, beautiful colors, just my purples and pinks, and I love it. Very squishy. So that's my portable project for swimming classes, for dance classes, for all the classes my kids attend, and that's where I carry it. And then there's another little project that I haven't worked on since last time, and I feel a bit guilty about that, but I want to just flash it again because there's a pattern. Its pattern's been released recently by a brilliant knitter, great Instagram friend, and now a new amazing podcaster who is Kath. She's Mindful Melbourne Maker on Instagram and on podcast. That's the name of her channel. And these are the Canberra socks. It's basically a comprehensive guide to knitting DK socks, whether you choose fingering held double, one strand of fingering and one strand of mohair as I did, or a DK yarn. You can choose a couple of 2 or 3 different yarn constructions, and I mean, it's a very, very good and comprehensive guide if you are a beginner, but not only if you're a beginner, also if you want to try different, you know, styles of heel, or have very good tips about how you knit your socks. In my case, I'm making this pair with this yarn, which is comes all the way from Germany, and this mohair, which is a drop kit silk pink, and I've done a contrasting toe, which is basically done just by holding a different mohair for the toe. And I test knitted this one for Kath, but unfortunately I stopped basically at the first sock and first cuff and second cuff. I've even taken out the needles, not because I don't love them. I really loved knitting them, but the jumper sort of got me. And so I will carry on knitting on these as soon as the jumper is finished. But I just wanted to mention her, because please go and see her podcast and have a look at her pattern, because it's really great. And she's got something similar, so a comprehensive guide to knitting fingering sock, which are the Melbourne socks, which is free. So that's another great resource. Very quickly, I've got another 2 little sections to add. I hope you want to stick with me for those. And the first one is a little shop update that's coming up, hopefully, you know, or it already has come up if I take long to edit this podcast. So I have given my Etsy shop a little break, mainly after we got our puppy, who was keeping me really, really busy. Now the puppy is turning into an adolescent dog, which is just as troublesome, but to be honest with you, she's lovely. We adore her. We really adore her, all of us. And I think, anyway, she's a bit quieter, so I have more time for myself, and I've decided to sew up a few more bags, just because I love it. I love picking the colors and choosing the bags and the color combinations, and interacting with you people, with you lovely people, when you inquire about them or you buy them from my Etsy shop. The link is down below. And I'll just flash quickly a few bags that are coming or are in the shop now. So I've been inspired by autumn a little bit. So I've done some sock bags in these beautiful autumnal colors. The rusts and the turquoises remind me of winter, of autumn. So we've got some pink inside or some turquoise. This is a very fun camping themed bag. So you can see I really love these colors. And actually looking at this fabric, I was just thinking yesterday that I would like to take inspiration for a color work jumper. I love how the aqua combines with the yellow and the brown, orange and dark green. This one's got some flowery patterned fabric inside. This is another very cute one. I loved this fabric since day one with all the bright greens, and there's also a little bit of gold in the cage, in the cages, and turquoise inside. And then I've got some bigger ones. So a very flowery one with small flowers inside. This is for the pink lover between you. Another pink one in pastel colors with some stripes inside. This is just another edition of my Love and Strength bag with the fabric in support of cancer patients. This is one of other my favorite ones with a very bright pineapple stripes and the polka dot lining. A very Australian one with the parrots, dark colors and stripe inside, and another very Australian one with bangsha, I think you say it like that, bangsha flowers and pink inside. There you go. So you find them in my Etsy shop, and if you just want to treat yourself, or if you want just to ask any questions, go on the shop, you can message me there, and yeah, they are all ready to ship, so I hope you enjoy them. Very last thing is some acquisitions, and I will be very quick. So it's been my birthday, as I've mentioned already, May, and I got gifted this very, very cute book, Amigurumi Made Easy by Mariska Vos-Polman, DIY Fluffies. And, you know, I'm not a crocheter, but I really appreciated the gift because it's great inspiration. One day I may try them. And I really love these cuties. I don't know if this author is particularly popular in the amigurumi world. If she's not, I hope she becomes, because her work is really, really fun. And I think they're super cute fluffies. And yeah, always glad to have some inspiration in the fiber world. Then I was again super spoiled by my friend Susie, who went to Finland. She's originally from there, and brought me back a birthday gift. So look at this. This is an amazing hand-dyed yarn from Finland. It's called Ilo Yarn. Ilo Yarn is the brand, and it is merino wool and nylon 75-25 in the colorway Laponia, I think, which I adore. You know me and my teal, love for teal. I think this is absolutely sensational. So it definitely needs to be in a shawl. I've got plenty of plans for shawls, for garments, so it'll be used soon. And then she brought me 2 bowls of these Novita yarn. Novita Nalle. I've used it before. And you know what? They have this yarn at the supermarket in Finland. I need to go back. I've been in Finland in the past. I need to go back. I wasn't a knitter back then, unfortunately, because, you know, what about going for your grocery shopping and finding a whole aisle of yarn there to pick? It feels like a dream. It feels like a dream. Well, when I saw these two colors, I thought they need to be a pressed flower pair of socks. And I think it would work really well for that. But I wonder whether they could be even a cowl, because then it doesn't feel scratchy to me, or a little shawlette. Anyway, I'm loving it, and I will use it, and I will go to Finland one day. Then, as I mentioned earlier, I went to the local yarn market at the Guild on Saturday, and I had to purchase a few things from there. So I got these mini skeins. I love this yarn, this color combination. So it's 20 grams mini skeins, 60 grams altogether, from DanyUK, who does the most beautiful colorways. So I yet have to decide what to do with these, but I couldn't love them more. Then I treated myself to a neon yarn, neon colored yarn. This was in a sale basket, and I must say it was just, you know, my whimsical me. I really wanted a bit of neon yarn. Not sure for what I'll use it yet, but I am going to add a neon detail to something. The crazy color lady I am who wants to do that. And the colorway is Bioluminescence, really cute. And then I have a very special skein that comes with a very special project in mind. And da-da-da-dun. Now, I don't know if you can really appreciate the beauty of this skein, but it is, first of all, super soft and delicious. It is a single yarn, 100% superwash merino in vivid reddish purple by Love and Speckles. This lady does beautiful, bright and vibrant colorways, and well, there may be a surprise there at some point. Just wait and see. And when it was a difficult choice, but when I saw this colorway, I couldn't resist. And it brought to mind a project that I've been fancying for a while, which is the Campanella shawl. You have seen it on Instagram all over, and I'll add a photograph here. But it isn't even a shawl, in my opinion. It's more like a collar, like an accessory to lift your outfit. It's very, very special. And I think in this yarn, imagine wearing that very lacy thing with a white top or a white blouse, and, you know, draping that around your shoulder, and the white will you know, make the lace contrast beautifully. Yeah, that's another thing that's coming up. So, am I lucky? I really am lucky. I really am full of knitting joy. I've got these beautiful yarns. I've got all the new knitting friends that I'm connected with, and I really, this knitting world is a blessing, and it's bringing me so much joy in your life. I hope it's the same for you, and I hope whatever you're knitting or you're planning to knit will just spark a lot of excitement and fun. And if you are in a less positive moment in your life, because they happen, I hope they bring you, you know, some soothing time, some mindful and self-care moments, and I'm sure you will treasure your practice just as well. So that's everything. I think my husband's just parked up the car outside our house, so the furry terror will storm me in any minute, and I'm glad I could have this quiet and lovely chat with you. Thanks so much. Happy knitting and much love from me. Bye.